Hey guys, Willie Creeman back here with the AFC West, talking about the Las Vegas Raiders, who finished with a record of 8-9, but finished second in the division last year. It's amazing how different we could feel about two 8-9 teams, right? The Broncos and the Raiders, how different they feel. But I'm loving what the Raiders are doing. Besides letting go of Jacobs, they just weren't going to be able to afford him to re-sign him. But I really like the things that they're doing. Listen, they find a way to kind of cull the complaints of Max Crosby, Devontae Adams, two leaders that you absolutely need on your team. And if they aren't bought in, that negativity will spread to other players on the team. So they need both of them locked in and focused, and I believe they have that now. Antonio Pierce, listen, he's like a dog of a coach. I love this guy. Like hearing him in press conferences talk about his team, I'm fired up. I want to play for the Raiders just because of that. And it just, they bring in the mustache, right? And Gardner Minshew. Now, there's been a lot of talk whether he's going to be the guy to lead this team right now. It seems like they're in a position where they could actually have some success, but they feel like quarterback's kind of the weaker spots. I think they're going to get better play out of Minshew than they expect. But I just don't know, based on some of the moves that they made, how effective it's going to be. Now, their biggest free agent addition has to be Christian Wilkins, right? Bringing him in, that like he's a top three defensive tackle in the league. Just an unbelievable signing. I can't believe I'm still shocked now, and it's 2 months ago that it happened, right? That they signed him away from Miami. I'm still shocked that he's no longer with the Dolphins. I think he's going to bring an unbelievable amount of confidence to this line, and him and Max Crosby are going to wreak havoc on quarterbacks with what they're able to do. Now, the worst free agent addition that I think is Alexander Madison. Listen, he didn't do anything that made him look attractive to sign last year. Like, he ran behind a good offensive line. I don't feel like he was as effective as he probably could have been. And there were big expectations of how good he was going to be when Minnesota decided not to bring back Dalvin Cook and said, "Hey, listen, we're handing the reins to you." And he really didn't do that much with it to make it feel like, okay, this is his backfield. He had one or two good games, but other than that, it was kind of disappointing. And I just don't know if he's going to be better in a Raiders uniform because of that. Now, in the draft, they go and they sign Brock Bowers. Listen, I'm just a little confused by this pick. Like, he's the premier pass catching tight end, right? Like, unquestioned the best tight end in the draft. Uh, Unbelievable hands, route running, all of that. He's going to be a great playmaker. I don't know why you go and get him while you have Mayer on the team, right? Like now, some people could say like, "Oh, it's the Gronk Hernandez type deal," but this is a team that doesn't want to throw the ball. So I don't get it, right? Like you've got Devontae Adams, who's a target vacuum. You've got Jacoby Myers, who's an underrated wide receiver. I think one of the best in the league at the number two. I don't understand why you go and get Bowers. Are you looking to bury Mayer on the depth chart, or well, like, are you going to put all four of them out there and expect Gardner Minshew's going to all of a sudden become Patrick Mahomes? Like, I don't understand that, but it's kind of confusing and head scratching to me. But then they did follow up with a good starter, right? They go after Jackson Powers Johnson, who I think is going to be instrumental in improving this line. They really he's likely going to be at guard for them, and I think that's going to be a big deal for them going forward. I think he could step in and play right away. I didn't care for a lot of the picks that they had in the draft. I felt like they reached for a lot of them and they didn't focus on a lot of the things that they really needed. Like instead of the Bowers pick, they should have gone defensive back. Terrion Arnold was there. Kenyon Mitchell was there. Like Cooper DeJean. Even if they reached for him, I could have understood the pick. But like, come on, guys. I don't know how good the Raiders are going to be. I'm going to be cheering for them, but I really wish they had done better on this draft.